What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? This is your man Cam down here on location. Not sure. I'm somewhere in Arizona. Not really sure. I mean, the neighborhoods are so close to each other. They're easy to get confused in whichever neighborhood you're. I'm somewhere near Arizona. Trying to come down here for some spring training. Actually, the day's been pretty good. Actually, the day's been pretty good. Fans, if you thought baseball was slow, if you thought baseball was slow during the regular season, try some training. What is that? What do they call this? Spring training games.
It's called spring training camp.
Oh my! Oh my goodness
Spring
gracious!
training. Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious! I can't. I can't get through these damn games fast enough. I can't. I'm trying to learn something, man. I'm trying to pick it up. I'm trying to slow down and get the vibe of spring training, Major League Baseball. I mean, the ballpark was nice. It's about 81 degrees down here, so it's a mild breeze. It's not blazing hot, and the ball players are fucking 15 feet in front of us. It's like watching Major League ball players at a little league field. So we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Cleveland, I'm sure, has some things to throw in the mix there. But fans, it's been a big week in the NFL. The QB carousel is spinning. Have we seen a QB carousel like this before?
No, never.
You said a couple of seasons ago there's never been movement like this in the free agent movement in the NFL. Parity is what they're always seeking, and we just have players moving all around. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it. We're going to, as always, fans, we're going to get to our numbers game. We're going to get to this week in history. But we're essentially running a show this week, no script, Cleveland, and we just want to know essentially what's going on in NFL free agency, the quarterback carousel. We're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. We're going to get to that topic too. Talk about the NBA playoffs, some of these playoff races. I mean, are you concerned about Philadelphia? Are you concerned about the 76ers? I don't know. The 76ers win tonight? They played some bums. They play some bums down here in Southern California. I don't know if they won or not. Did they win?
I'm not. I'm not aware.
You don't follow the teams.
I believe they were playing the Los Angeles Lakers. Have they started already? I don't think the game started yet. Has it, Cam?
Oh yeah, they're in LA. They started at 7. They're starting at 7:00. So they're just about
okay. Yeah. So you asked me all these questions about wins or losses. Yeah, it's a little premature.
I'm just wondering if you keep up with your guys. That's
all.
For
sure. Yeah, I thought I did, but then you kind of threw me a curveball, like asking me, like, did they win or lose? Like, yeah, I don't think the game started yet, but okay.
All right. I mean,
you're in LA, so you should know.
Well, I'm in Phoenix. Let's get it straight, man. I just told
I'm so sorry. You're in Phoenix today, but typically you are in LA, so that means you have a little bit of a finger on the pulse of what goes on, and
yeah.
In the crib house.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about what goes on in the crib house and in those neighbors who just won't leave you alone. We got those people in the crib house that they're playing tonight. So we're gonna talk about those guys, man. Cleveland. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna get to this week in history. Cleveland, let the people know where they can find you, man. When you're making these ridiculous comments and statements, let the people know where they can find you.
Absolutely, Cam, at Clevey Wonder on Twitter and Cleveland Steel on Instagram.
Cleveland, you want to give us an update, man? You want to give us an update on puppy training, how that's going?
Puppy training is better. Still not great. Still not 100%. Coco still has her moments, but she's getting a little bit better, and we're working with her. So, yeah.
I mean, are you making her go down 3 flights of stairs? I mean,
all the time. I mean, we have to do that. We live on the 3rd floor. What are we going to do? I mean,
she can't go to the balcony. I mean, that wouldn't be easier.
We've tried that. We've tried that a few times, pads and whatnot, what have you. It has not worked. So it has to be down the stairs and outside. Yeah.
Oh shit, man! Gee, no wonder she's having problems over there. You guys making her like the little dog walk 2 miles before she can go to take a piss.
It's true.
Sheesh,
it's a real thing, unfortunately.
A little Cleveland Putin, huh?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't really like the analogy, but okay. We'll continue on.
Hey, come on,
I'm just
man.
because fans, I got the hibachis, man, right here, here. I got the Gilbert Arenas grills. Woo.
Oh.
As soon as Cam gets to that one subject, man, the
We
hibachi
gonna touch on it,
Arabian
man.
grill,
You might not have to
real
wait too
sweet.
long. You might not have to wait too long before we
Okay,
get to that topic.
well, come with it. Whatever you want to do, man. I'm here.
Well, let's start with each and every week we start our podcast, man, with our numbers game. When you hear certain numbers, want to know what's the first thing that comes to your mind, or who wore that number the best? That's what we're looking to know. And so today, being March 23rd, 2022, we're going to look at the number 23. Cleveland. So when you think of the number 23, who wore that number the best? Or who comes to your mind first when you think of that number?
LeBron James.
Oh, come on, man. You think he do you think that? You got more confidence in LeBron James?
Do I think they were the number the best and he's
Yeah.
the first person to come to mind? He is the first person to come to mind, and given that he is the second leading scorer in the history of the NBA, I mean,
Oh boy.
kind of speaks for itself.
Oh, so I mean, what did that say for himself? That says he's the number 2 player in the NBA.
Well, my goodness gracious, he scored more points than everybody except for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean,
so that means he's better than everybody but Kareem. Is that what you're trying to get at?
who wore it the best? He went to the NBA Finals 8 straight seasons in the new millennium. I mean,
Okay.
that's remarkable.
Okay, so you're trying to say he wore it, but nobody wore it better than the only person wore it better than him was Kareem. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you want to tell the folks here today?
We were referring to the number 23, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He comes to mind first.
Okay, he comes to your
wore
mind
it the
first.
best.
That's fair enough. He comes to your mind first. Okay, so nobody you don't know anybody named Jamal Crawford. You don't know that kid.
I do know.
Out of the 206 who went to Rainier Beach High School. You don't know that kid.
I do know the crossover. Of course, I know who Jamal Crawford is.
But he gets no love in your book.
Gets a lot of love, but that's not what the question is, Cam. You make the question so like obtuse. No, it's who comes to your mind first and who wore it the best. I mean, that leaves out a lot of people. Sometimes, someone of the character of Jamal Crawford, unfortunately.
Wow. And no mention of Michael Air Jordan in there at number 23.
Oh man, Michael Jordan is one of the greatest NBA players in the history of the game. His shoe game, his business acumen is off the charts.
That's all the credit he gets. He gets the business acumen. This guy's a hysterical fella. This guy's hysterical. So let's see where he goes with this number. Number 83. Who wore that number best, or who comes to your mind first when you think of that number 83?
That's a tough number, Cam. 83. Wow. Okay. I want to say John Jefferson kind of comes to mind first. Wow. It's just a cat that really just, embraced that number, but who wore it best? It's a tough one, man.
Well, let me help you out.
Help me out.
A couple Hall of Famers wear that number.
Okay.
Andre Reed, Willie Gault. I wouldn't say either one of them wore that number the best, but they are a couple of the Hall of Famers. There's got to be
Willie Gault's in the Hall of Fame for the NFL. Are you kidding?
I think I'm just pretty
you
positive.
You got to be joking with me.
I'm pretty positive Willie Gault is in the Hall of Fame.
Willie Gault?
Let me look. Let me double check. You say no, huh?
I say no. I say hell no.
Hell no! Wow, jeez, that was pretty abrupt. No, it just won Super Bowl champion.
Okay, yeah, pull that back, homie.
Yeah, just won Super Bowl champion.
Okay,
well, Andre Reed's in the damn Hall of Fame. Okay,
is Andre Reed in the Hall of Fame?
Andre Reed is in the Hall of Fame.
No, are you sure?
I don't even have to check that. I don't even have to
pull
check
that up. Pull it up.
Oh, I don't even
Tell me,
think
tell
that's.
me what year you get. Tell me
I
what
don't
year
even
he
think
went
that
in.
really. I don't even think that's really worth checking.
Okay, well, no, please, no.
RJ Reed Hall of Fame. Does it tell me? It don't tell me what year. Seven. Does it tell me inducted? 2014. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Really? Okay,
Really?
cool. I
Yes.
get it. I get
2014.
you. Okay. Well,
Thirteen
he
thousand
he
yards
worth it
receiving.
best. I mean, that's
13,000 yards receiving. 13,000 yards receiving.
huge.
Nine hundred
It
fifty-one
was a long time
receiving
coming,
yards.
Cam. So I thought that maybe they had just bypassed him altogether, but I'm glad he got in there sometime.
No, he been in there. He been in there. Underrated been in there. So underrated been in there. Mark Clayton.
Mark Clayton.
Mark
Don't, hey man,
Clayton.
don't try and go all dolphin on me.
I'm just trying to throwing out the one of the
Okay,
best,
yeah,
most notable
yeah. One of
receivers
them
who ever
Marx
played the
brothers.
game.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Keep it cool. Keep it cool.
and this is a number. Well, so the question is right. You give me every week. I ask a question: who wore the number the best, or who come to your mind when you think of that number? One guy who comes to my mind when I think of that number, who played for the Dolphins, was a wide receiver. He also was a punt returner. He also was a kick returner. He also departed Miami and went up to New England, and that's Wes Walker. Wes Walker, I never understood how the Miami Dolphins go from one season, and so it had to be 2006, 2007, how they go from Wes Walker leading the team in leading the team in reception yards, punt return yards, kick return yards, and kick return touchdowns. How this guy doesn't make your team? Like how he doesn't make your team going into the next season? I have no idea. But that started the trends of bad player personnel decisions.
Hmm.
It was a bad trend there for a while.
Hmm.
But I'm happy to say, Cleveland, that I think that trend is turning around. I think because of something that's happened in the recent days, I think that trend is in our tail lights. I don't think that's anything we have to worry about today, buddy. And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to those very Miami Dolphins here shortly. But I want to talk about something that happened in the NBA or in the NFL. Excuse me, Cleveland. Some NFL topics. The Browns traded for Deshaun Watson. Not only did they trade for him, they re-signed him. He's scheduled to make a mere, I think it's $17 million per year next season. So Cleveland, the Browns think they slick. Not only did they trade for Deshaun Watson, but then they said, okay, Deshaun, knowing that you have a penalty coming up in front of you, let's go ahead and minimize this penalty by only, you having a meager $17 million contract. It's either a $17 million or a $1 million contract. But you have a minuscule contract next year, and then your $230 million guaranteed contract starts in the second year of your contract with the Cleveland Browns. What's your thoughts on the Browns trading for Watson? What's your thoughts on how they handled the contracts? And what's your thoughts on the Browns moving forward? Mr. Cleveland Still, young Sam.
Yeah, well, with regards to how the Cleveland Browns were able to win the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, kudos to them. With regards to their risk factor, really, really high. I mean, it's fortunate that he was able to get past the grand jury and all that, and they decided that they weren't going to go forward with, you know, prosecuting charges. However, 17 million in the first year just kind of get through this whole thing, and you're not going to play a full season anyways because the NFL has come down with some type of punishment with regards to what you did. But after that, you're committed to this dude in a way
This dude, this
that
dude, this dude,
no other franchise has ever been committed to a quarterback.
this guy. And this guy still has no Cleveland. See, he still can't win it. He still can't win a game. Cleveland calling this dude like he's a like he's off the side of the road or something. You picked him up off the side of the freeway. This dude is Deshaun Watson. This dude, last time he played on the field, he led the NFL in passing. This dude is very well the most versatile young quarterback in the game. That's who this dude is. And Cleveland want to go this dude like
This
he should be
dude.
lucky. Like he should be lucky that he's able to wear a uniform next season.
I mean, I'm just saying, if everything goes, according to plan, he'll be, in the fold and ready to do some things. But hey, man, you're committed for 5 years like no other player's ever been committed.
Okay, all right. So let me back into this.
It's 20 million short of $250 million guaranteed dollars, Cam.
Okay, let me back into this
over 5 years.
And did you hear what I said? What did this guy the last season he was on the field to perform? What do you remember what his performance was?
You would have to ask one of them ladies that he followed on Instagram with regards
to what a shot. You see, fans, you see all objectivity has gone out the door. All objectivity has gone out the door when he takes a shot like that. Oh my goodness. What a low blow. What fans, hold on for a minute, fans. What a low blow that was from my guy. You don't feel at one bit guilty at all about making a statement like that?
Nope. Not at all.
Oh my goodness. So are you saying this guy shouldn't be playing in NFL?
According to whose rules? I mean,
I don't know. You want to make some rules up? You and your friends?
Last Friday.
You and your
Friday.
You and your friends that
they
all
decided
that you're talking about?
that there would be no charges brought up upon him. Criminal.
So then where are you going with this?
I'm going nowhere with this. I say what I said and I stick by it. Hey man, roll with it, man. $250 million guaranteed, less 20 million. Yeah.
And you have you don't want to do it. You're not feeling it.
If that's what you want to do, that's do that. So we can talk about another person with kind of questionable off the field incidents going traveling down to 305, but we'll wait.
Now we're gonna get there.
We'll get there. That's what I said. We'll wait, but we'll get there. But yeah, let's stay on topic. Yeah, I mean Deshaun Watson. I mean, I hope so. But I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen, man. You don't know how many people.
What I do know that has happened is the last time he was playing quarterback for any of.
What you do know what has happened is that the grand jury did not go forward with any criminal charges.
Exactly.
You don't know what the civil charges are going to look like.
Exactly.
And you don't know if any other criminal charge is going to come out of all this, Cam.
I don't know. I know what's going to come out of it. I know he was at 4,800 yards passing.
Cam, I would be feeling like Bill Cosby was my quarterback right now.
Oh,
that's how I would be feeling.
These are some low blows.
And 40 of the 77 cases have come out so far, but there's still like 37 more cases you just don't know about.
These are some low blows coming from a guy who roots for a team with no quarterback. So you telling me you rather have Drew Lock running around as your quarterback than Deshaun Watson? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Given the potential, downfall, yeah, I think so.
You're lying to yourself. You don't believe that yourself. You are lying to yourself, and you're trying to lie to the people. But the people aren't buying it. The people don't believe that. The people don't believe it, and that little smirk on your face right there let the people know they have no
Drew
reason to
Lock.
believe. No
Drew
reason to
Lock.
believe. No,
Drew
you can't even say
Lock.
that with a straight face.
It's
You can't even
wild.
say his name with a straight face. You can't say his name with a straight face, and the people see right through that.
Drew
People
Lock.
see right through that.
Drew Lock
Where's the
does not
straight face?
have
Where's the
impending
straight face?
cases in his, rearview mirror in the same way that Deshaun Watson does. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, you have a nerve to put Drew Lock in the same sentence as Deshaun Watson. You have some nerve doing that.
That's what he doesn't have.
Has Drew Lock ever passed for 4,800 yards?
No,
Has
never.
Drew Lock ever done that
No,
in
never.
the NFL?
On any level.
Huh? Has Drew
On any
Lock thrown
level,
for
no.
33 touchdowns?
No.
Huh? You got some nerve comparing him, Drew Lock, to Mr. Deshaun Watson. Has Drew Lock passed for 12.6 yards per completion? Has Drew Lock done that?
Cam, are you up here statting me to death? Because I got some
just wanna
stats
know.
for you as well. Instagram has quite a few masseuses out there.
This guy is just
Not sure they've all come forward with regards to maybe if Deshaun Watson has or has not.
Since Deshaun, I'm finally figuring out what's going on here, fans. I'm finally figuring out what's going on here. Since Deshaun Watson said he didn't want to go to Seattle, all of a sudden Seahawks fans are taking shots at him, like he's Bigfoot and can't be found, taking shots at him.
I'm just saying. I'm not sure if all of the people that are
man, you better
involved
cut
in this whole conspiracy if you all come forward.
You better cut it out. So now it's a conspiracy that he ends up with Cleveland with $230 million guaranteed. Now that's a conspiracy.
No, the conspiracy is not with regards to the contract. That's their decision. I'm just saying it was a little bit risky considering that his past is a little bit suspect.
And
And Cam, you recall you alluded to the podcast and you were creeped out, disturbed, correct?
Okay, it was icky. It was icky. What I heard,
you were creeped out and disturbed.
The request that I heard coming from that man was a little icky request.
And that's just the ones you heard.
Does that mean I didn't want him as my quarterback? Absolutely not. Did that mean I would be sitting here trying to compare him to Drew Lock? And did that mean I would be trying to make up reasons as to why Drew Lock is possibly, conceivably, a better option?
So Cam, I'm so sorry. So it was icky, but not so icky that you wouldn't want him to be your quarterback.
No, exactly right. Okay. Everybody has their fetishes, Cleveland. I'm not trying to get in your bedroom.
So,
but you and your wife are probably doing some stuff that I'm not a fan of.
You sound like Jerry Sandusky's lawyer.
Oh, wow. Dude, Cleveland he's a hot one today. Hey, I guess this is what life with when you don't have a quarterback and you don't know who your quarterback is.
Maybe so, Cam. Maybe this is where all this is coming from.
Your quarterback
I can't say because that's certainly a real thing. Yeah.
I mean, ever since Russell Wilson said he didn't want to be there, we've seen a different side of Cleveland Steel and these Seahawks fans. Now I'm all of a sudden I'm a lawyer for Jerry Sandusky. Now all of a sudden Deshaun Watson shouldn't be in the NFL anymore. Now it's kind of because you don't have a quarterback. Now you're trying to make up some stuff. Why are you doing this?
I'm not making up anything. I'm just stating the facts, Cam.
Wow. Now boy, I'm telling you what, we're gonna have to get you guys a quarterback. And Drew Lock ain't the guy. Drew Lock ain't the guy. I think you already know that. But we're gonna have to get you somebody, man, because I don't think you're moving right. I don't think Coco has a chance. I don't think Coco has a chance with Drew Lock as your quarterback. I think Coco might be running away by football camp, by training camp. Coco might be out of there because I just talking to you the last couple of weeks since Russell's departed. I can see it's not a loving, friendly home. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. So let me ask you this question: since you want to take shots at Deshaun Watson and Cleveland Brown for some reason, um, are you are you a little salty that Matt Ryan went to Indianapolis instead of taking phone calls from Pete Carroll and John
No,
Snyder?
no. I think Indy is much closer to getting to title contention and has more better pieces in place. So that's a much better move.
Interesting to see that. So the Colts giving up all they gave up was a third rounder. I mean, Pete didn't have a third rounder in there.
He absolutely
He
did,
didn't get
but
an
I
extra third
mean,
rounder for Cleveland. They could have sent to Atlanta for Matt Ryan, a legit QB.
for sure. But I mean, I think they were trying to do the best by Matt, and that was the better situation for sure.
If they're trying to do the best,
Total rebuild over here in the 206. Total rebuild.
I mean, you take a veteran quarterback, man, and to play you through a couple bad seasons.
Well, we'll see what Baker is talking about. We'll see.
Oh, you're ready for Baker.
I
Oh,
feel I feel like
all of a
either
sudden Baker is ready
either
to go.
Baker or Gardner Minshew will be in the fold. One of those two.
Now see, I wasn't even going to mention Gardner. Now I know I know the angst you have for Washington State.
Absolutely, yeah, it hurts. I hated having to say his name out loud, but yeah,
But you're ready to go with Gardner Minshew.
Short season.
But
Short
you didn't want to.
season.
But you didn't want to talk to Deshaun Watson. You was ignoring his phone calls. But you were ready to go
We
with Gardner
chatted.
Minshew.
We chatted. We talked about it.
Oh, you told him he had too much baggage. You told
I
him
mean,
you didn't like his choice of
with
masseuse.
regards to what we would have to give up for all the baggage that was coming with it, yeah, it just wasn't palatable. Sorry.
We rather go with Drew Lock or
We'll
Gardner
figure it
Minshew
out. We'll figure it out.
with Gardner Minshew.
Figure it out.
Whew. Boy, that's a tough crowd. So I mean, with that being said, you must be ecstatic that if your guy Mike Tomlin got Mitchell Trubisky, you must be ecstatic behind that.
Yeah, I know where Mike's angling for, and we'll see who gets to the quarterback first. I'll just put it like that.
Well, there won't be many teams competing with the Miami Dolphins in a track meet this season, and I can assure you that with Jalen Waddle coming back in his second year, they just went out and acquired a receiver, top 5 receiver in the game today. Tyreek Hill, you may have heard of him. You may be familiar with him. Maybe you see him in the Super Bowl giving up the peace sign as he ran into the end zone. Maybe you saw that, or maybe you seen him running by defenders as they're trying to tackle him with his 4.2 speed. Maybe you're familiar with that. Are you familiar with Tyreek Hill and his work?
Mm-hmm.
Teddy Bridgewater. It has some weapons to throw to. When he finally gets in the game, he has Cedric Wilson from the Dallas Cowboys came over a few weeks ago or last week, I believe. Jalen Waddle, who South Florida's already familiar with, who set rookie records last season. And now you bring over Mr. Speed, Tyreek Hill? Are you kidding me? Who's going to cover these guys? Tyreek, better yet, is Teddy Bridgewater going to be a Pro Bowler after this season? Throwing to the likes of those guys. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Is it my time to interject, Cam?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first off, fans, let us not forget that now Cam is jumping back on the bandwagon.
I never jumped off the bandwagon.
Fans, Cam's gonna give me 15 minutes to explain this whole thing right here, okay? Because it takes some time. It's not just like just blurted out. It's like, okay, first off, Cam was in a very committed relationship for a long, long time with the Miami Dolphins. Some 40 years. Ain't that right, Cam? Almost 40 years?
It's been 40 plus.
It's almost 40 plus
It's
that
been
he
40
had
plus.
been committed to the Miami Dolphins. And then, was it 2 years ago, Cam? Two and a half. No, 2 years ago.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
As he had moved to LA, kind of started to get a little
Well,
bit of
I've been in LA since
kind of a wandering eye for another quarterback.
I've been in LA since 2000.
I've been in
LA since 2000. So
I'm in the middle of saying what I'm saying.
Don't listen to what he's talking about.
I've been in LA. Why are you interrupting me?
I'm just saying. I'm just adding some facts into your story.
So
I've been in LA since 2000.
2 years ago.
I've been in LA since 2000.
Cam started looking out the corner of his eye, saw this cat, Justin Herbert, playing for the Los Angeles Chargers. He was like, "Ooh, he sure does have a live arm. Ooh, he sure does read the pocket well. Wow, I kind of like that Justin Herbert. Oh, and that coach and organization, man, they're building a culture. Is that what you said, Cam? They're building a culture, and you're just so indoctrinated into it." So much so that he decided to completely kick the Miami Dolphins, the team that he had been with for 40 years.
Not true fans. Not true fans. He's
to the curb. Okay, kicked them to the curb, kicked them in their face, left them over by the fire hydrant, by the garbage can, and just drove off. Okay, because he was committed to the Herbert, foundation culture philosophy. Now, unfortunately, fans, the quarterback that he left the Dolphins of that 40 plus years for did not achieve anything even remotely to what he thought that quarterback would.
Whoa.
Did not make the playoffs.
See fans.
Did not make the playoffs.
This is where the story is all wrong.
He missed the playoffs.
This is where the stories are wrong.
Justin Herbert did not make the playoffs, okay? But he was just too embarrassed and just had egg all over his face to try and even patch up the relationship with the Dolphins. He just kept saying how what a terrible coach Flores was, even though he won 7 games in a row. And then come to find out, fans, and let me digress here. This is where I digress. This is where it gets really, really ugly, and you just can't really fathom what's really going on. There are allegations that the owner asked Coach Flores to surmise his integrity and just lose games on purpose so they can get a better pick.
They're unproven, unfounded.
They're not unproven.
They're unfounded.
It just hasn't gone to trial just yet. And when it does,
if they were founded,
everything is going to come out.
If it was founded,
so Cam is backing someone that is asking the coach to do unethical things. Has already proven to be somewhat of a, quote unquote racist. We're just, we're on the Voice of the Fans show here, fans. And has rolled with it. You know what I'm saying? They brought the other coach in. He embraced his multicultural background. 3-4 days later, after the fact, like, wow. Oh yeah. By the way, I am half black. I love that part about myself. 3-4 days later. Like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. But now,
this guy.
I'm sorry, fans. Let me back up like 2 more steps. He has been blasting Tua Tagovailoa since his senior year at Alabama. Okay, since the whole tanking for Tua thing started, he has been like avoiding that like the plague. Didn't want it to happen. All of a sudden, he has it. He's got a receiver, which I said last season, fans. They didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve a cat like Jalen Waddle walking through that building with that kind of swag, that kind of Michael Irvin. I am that dude. Put the paper towel down in front of my feet, as I go forward. And then they go and get the cheetah.
The cheetah. Tyreek. That's Tyreek Hill to you. That's Tyreek Hill to you, sir.
Now, first and foremost, fans, it's so much more of a subtraction from the Kansas City Chiefs than it is an addition to the Miami Dolphins because they do still have Tua Tagovailoa throwing him the ball.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Patrick Mahomes will not be the same quarterback. He will not put up those same Hall of Fame type numbers, those video game type numbers without the cheetah.
Those video game type numbers will be going away. Bye bye. It won't be. It won't.
Now I digress. Now remember,
yards
fans. Cam jumped out of a 40-year committed relationship to jump into another relationship, but to even consider what's going on in the 305, he would have to jump out of the relationship that he was with the side chick. You jumping out. You ain't gonna jump out the side chick relationship. You can't be in the main relationship no more. Okay. You can't come to the bar mitzvahs. You can't come to the birthdays. You can't come to the, the quinceañeras. You can't come to all that, man.
I love how you try to make this story up, man. You making all this up on the fly.
Can't come to all that, man. Nobody wants you around, Cam.
Is this a Lifetime movie that you just
nobody wants you around, Cam? I talked to Steve already. The first thing he said is, I bet Cam wants to, when he's on the show, I bet he wants to come back down to 305, back down to South Beach now that we got the cheetah. Yeah, no. I even mentioned Mostert in the running back and Chase Edmonds running back and, Gesicki, franchise and tackle. Yeah, they look good. They're like 12-5, 13-4-ish, don't they, Cam? All of a sudden, now they got themselves back together,
That might be a little high. 12-4-ish might be a little high.
I said 12-5.
12-5.
4. Yeah. But you don't need to look at that direction, Cam. You're already committed to something. So
let me clarify things for you. First of all, Cleveland, there's no commitment.
Cam, you already committed to Justin Herbert and them, right? And Staley and them, right?
The Staley and them are doing great things. They're going to be great.
So you're committed to them,
they're going to be great, and we're going to get to.
Why are you talking like you're not part of this?
No, I'm saying
you're in the interview rooms every day.
They're going to be guys. They're going to be great. Did you know that? Did you know that?
I see where you're trying to go with this, but you can't have both ways. And you're already. Did
you see they got Khalil Mack? Did you see they got J.C. Jackson? Did you see that? Did you notice that? Did you know Sebastian Joseph Day? Did you notice that they picked him up? They got some bunch of moves that we're going to talk to. But before you get off the Dolphins, man, let's go ahead and finish what the Dolphins we're doing here. Not only did they get Tyreek Hill today, which is the five trades, was that let's not, before we get too far away from this, was that too much they gave up for Tyreek Hill? They gave up 5 picks.
It is because they don't have a top tier elite quarterback. So yeah, it's too much. The receiver doesn't throw the ball to himself. So
they don't have. This is the second shot you're taking at Tua Tagovailoa. He can't get.
Well, don't worry about it because that wouldn't be a problem that your guy Justin Herbert would have. So don't worry about what the Dolphins are doing.
No, I'm just noticing.
Don't come into us defense all of a sudden. I mean, man,
I'm not really coming at it defense. I'm just finding.
Stay out of this.
I just find it odd that now you're taking shots at Tua Tagovailoa. That's all I'm saying. Now you're taking shots at him. That's kind of strange.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, you've been rooting for this guy. You've been handling this guy with kid glove for 2.5 seasons. Now all of a sudden you want to take shots at him. I don't get it. I'm curious.
Well, don't worry about it, Cam. It had nothing to do with you. You over there on
the
West Coast.
That's fine. That's right. Because he's not going to be good. It's going to be Teddy Bridgewater who's going to be the quarterback by week 6. You're absolutely right. It's going to be Teddy Bridgewater as the quarterback. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Wow.
But Teddy,
again, it's the East Coast, so don't worry about what's going on over there in 305.
Here's the Dolphins acquisitions, fam. Let's just run this down for you guys. Tyreek Hill today.
Cam, why are we going through the Dolphin acquisition? Let's go through the Charger acquisitions.
Oh, we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Oh, we're going to get there too? Okay.
We're going to get there. Connor Williams was a left tackle. They're redoing their whole offensive line. They got
fans, but he's talking about his old girl. So what she's doing.
They got Cedric Wilson from the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Perhaps you've seen him a little quicker than fast, a little shaky, a shake meister out there in
Yeah.
the wings.
Got their
They got
nails done. Okay.
Raheem Mostert,
Okay.
fullback Alex Ingold. Ooh, they got a
Uh,
fullback on the
got
schedule.
got their hair did. Okay. What else they do? What else they
Man,
do, Cam?
man. And then, as you mentioned earlier, they went and franchise tag Mike Gesicki, so
Okay.
pass receiving tight end. So the Dolphins have made some
Got the Manolo Blahniks. Okay. What else your old girl do?
man. They've done, and I mentioned it last week. They signed Teddy Bridgewater. That was a great signing for them as a backup quarterback, who probably going to be thrusted in the starting position before week 6. We know for certain, and
Okay.
whether
So
that's
that's
4 or 5.
that's a tennis bracelet on it. Okay. What else is going on out here, Cam?
I'm just saying, man. I'm just throwing it out there. What's
That's
going on?
cool,
Those
man.
Dolphins are doing
You
good
got the
things.
binoculars. Is that how you're seeing all this happening? Or
Binoculars. I mean, the Dolphins are doing great things. None
they
of those
sure
are
are. They
none of
sure
those
are.
signings.
And
None of
thanks
those
for
signings
asking,
can go to.
Cam. Thanks for asking.
None of those signings can you poo poo any of those signings? They're great signings. Michael or Mike McDonald, this guy's doing some stuff. This guy's doing some stuff. He might be worth the conversation. He might be worth the trip to Florida for uh uh training camp to go talk to him and see what's going on. He might be worth the trip
Cool,
down there and
cool.
go down there and see what's up.
Hey, Cam, why don't you tell us about your current situation, though?
What's that? What you want to know?
I mean, with the Los Angeles Chargers and stuff. You can talk all this Miami Dolphins stuff like that's like current, but I'm talking about your current situation. That
Oh,
Dolphin stuff is in the past when you was down for that them 40 years. But this is the new stuff we're talking about.
oh, did you hear Khalil? Are you familiar with Khalil Mack? Are you familiar with him?
Ooh, okay. Well, say
Are you
that.
familiar with him?
Say
Uh,
that.
138 tackles.
Yeah. Cam, show him the wrist. Show him the wrist.
Khalil Mack, 128 tackles,
Cam,
and
show him the wrist. Show him what the Chargers gave you, man. Show him the wrist.
the wrist. What are you talking
You got some kind of big watch. Is that the Invicta you got on, man? Show him the wrist.
This guy, this guy's
What
all twisted.
hurt gets you?
This guy's all twisted up, folks. This guy's all twisted up. But they got Khalil Mack. Last year they focused on the offensive line. Staley came in and said he wanted to win the line of scrimmage. Last season they focused on the offensive line, got their uh, franchise tackle, left tackle. Now they're looking for a right tackle and probably a guard this year. But on the defensive side of the ball, they brought in Khalil Mack. That's an upgrade from Uchenna Nwosu. They brought in a couple defensive linemen, bigger, stronger defensive linemen who's going to make an impact from their position at the defensive line spot. Sebastian Joseph Day, as well as Austin Johnson. And then they brought in the cornerback, J.C. Jackson. So in a matter of a few days, they were able to address their number one cornerback's position. They're able to address their number two edge rusher position, and not only put they put a Hall of Famer, what is it, player of the decade, player of the 10,000, 2010, player of the decades. They put him on the other side of Joey Bosa. So you think that's going to have an impact on the defense coming up next season? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You tell me what you think when you got Mack on one side, Bosa on the other side. I mean, where are you going?
Man, I hope they make the playoffs.
Ooh,
I hope I hope all those moves you just talked about gets them into the playoffs.
You hope these moves get them into the playoffs.
I mean, for your sake, because I mean, you're out here on a limb.
Are you confused, man?
Considering what the Dolphins are about to do,
what are the Dolphins going to do? Go ahead and talk about the Dolphins.
With their new attitude and their new swag, and
what are the Dolphins doing? Help me out.
I think 13-4, 12-5, no less.
You're 13-4, 12-5, Cleveland. I'm putting this on the ticker. What do you want to be 12-5 on the ticker? We had the Dolphins.
No, not just yet. We'll wait till after training.
Not just yet. What are we waiting on?
The draft, training camp.
The draft. I mean, that should only enhance what you're talking about, right?
No, we wait. We wait.
I mean,
Don't worry about what's going on with me and the Dolphins. Worry about what's going on with you and the Chargers, okay?
I mean, I'm not really worried about what's going on.
I know this monitoring for no reason, like really early into the process, man. Relax, man. It's cool. Wait till the start of training camp and through progressions, and then we come through training camp with not a lot of injuries. We'll revisit this. And who knows where you and Herbert and them guys might be by then.
I don't know why you keep saying me and Herbert. Like, what? Oh shit! Oh, my banner disappeared on me. You're lucky too, by the way. I'm down here in Arizona. I try to find the Mariners. I can't find the Mariners nowhere in town. They're hiding out.
It should be in Peoria. Where are you?
I'm in Peoria.
Yeah. No? You don't see them?
No, they're not out here.
Hmm.
The Dolphins will go 12-5.
No, it's too early. It's too early.
11.
I will definitely revisit this after training camp for sure. Mm-hmm. And after the draft.
You ain't ready for that one, huh? I mean, that's what you're saying, but you're not ready. You're not ready to put some weight behind it, huh? You're not that confident in what you're talking about.
We're talking about football, so I
you ain't that confident. I know you ain't that confident. But they made some big moves, Cleveland. I think Tyreek Hill is. I mean, you already know that's an upgrade from anybody they had on their squad before. That was a huge upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
We also had in the NFL this week. We also had Malcolm Butler. He's going to return back to the Patriots. I wonder if New England if Bill Belichick's going to bench him. Bench him for some unknown reason later on when they're in the playoffs, and makes a lot of it when it doesn't make any sense. What does the Cleveland Browns? I mean, excuse me. We talked about Tyreek Hill going to the Dolphins. Obviously, that's it gives. All jokes aside, I'm kind of surprised. Not surprised about the situation. Don't get me wrong. My hesitancy with this particular trade is Patrick Mahomes was going to get Tyreek Hill the ball, whether it was deep, whether it's behind him, whether it's in front of him. He's going to get Tyreek Hill the ball. Is the quarterbacks in Miami going to be able to get him the ball in the same function, the same fashion? Is Tua going to be able to get Tyreek the ball?
It's not good for anybody, Cam, because it will expose Patrick Mahomes because he doesn't have the cheetah to throw to that gets like wide open and can run certain routes like uncoverable. He has no replacement for that, right? And then you get the cheetah going to Miami and he can do all of these things, but the quarterback can get him the ball in the same fashion. So it's not valuable, right?
So okay, so tell me this. Pretty astute observation. By week 3, if your quarterback is still not able to get this guy the ball, still throwing it, sending him on a go route, still throwing it 30 yards instead of the 45, 42 yards that need to be thrown, or crossing over the middle, he's still throwing it behind him instead of throwing it in front of him and leading him down the field. Is that a quicker hook for that quarterback?
No, you remember when Randy Moss went to the Raiders, right? It was Randy Moss going to the Raiders, and he had nobody to throw him the football. And then the next year, he went to the New England Patriots and scored 22 touchdowns and set the record for the most points in the history of the NFL.
So you think we're gonna?
Receivers, unlike any other position, you have to have somebody that can get you the ball. And if you don't, you can do all that, all those routes and fancy stuff you want, and they just can't get you the ball.
So you're saying that he's Hill's going to be frustrated that he can't get that he's not going to be able to get the ball, and then the relationship is going to be out the window.
And in addition, you got to realize you're bringing Tyreek Hill from Kansas City down to the 305, man. That's not a real conducive environment for somebody with the mental capacity of a Tyreek Hill.
Oh wow, Cleveland is taking shots tonight. What are you saying? The man don't know how to work out and practice and stay ready for games?
I'm saying he's been in Kansas City, barely able to control that environment. Not going to be able to control the 305. It's going to get really rowdy, really ugly.
So this is a bad move.
Forget he got,
So you
that's just for hurting his own daughter, right?
Yeah. So
okay.
His son, it was. So you have so you don't have no hope for this marriage, Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins.
No, because they're quarterbacking him the ball. Not like Patrick Mahomes was. I mean, we used to like, okay, I just need to break open. We already are on the same page. And when we're there, you'll get me the ball. Devontae Adams is going to do the exact same thing. He thinks Aaron Rodgers is throwing him the ball, and he does the same thing, and he breaks wide open, but it's Derek Carr throwing him the ball.
He chose Derek Carr.
Do you see where I'm going with this, Cam? Receivers can't throw the ball to themselves, man. They can't just, running backs can just run. They can just, give me the ball and I'll do the rest. Receivers can't do that, man.
All right, so
all this $28-30 million a year they're giving receivers and they're trading them to teams that don't even have an elite quarterback. It's weird.
So who will have the better season, Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams? Who will have the better season next year?
Tyreek Hill will have the better season.
You don't have no confidence in Derek Carr with his.
I have more confidence in what the Dolphins have been able to put together than what the Raiders have.
Ooh, you might be overlooking what's going on in Las Vegas. For you to say you have more confidence in what's going on in Miami than Las Vegas, come on. That's a bias that's already predetermined.
Okay.
It has to be. I mean, because when your coach gets fired last season, midway through the season, and you're forced to kind of
both teams are coming to the season with new coaches, right?
Yeah, but one team had their coach fired midway through the season, and the other coach had their coach fired at the end of the season. So one coach
for not taking games. Okay.
Well, I don't know what happened early in the season. I don't know what he called that mess early in the season when he went 1-7. I don't know what you call that, but that's unacceptable. You can't go 1-7 in 3 seasons in a row and think you're going to keep your job. That's unacceptable. Come on, stop it. Nonetheless, both quarterbacks will have new coaches this year. One of their quarterbacks has lost their job due to ineffectiveness, and the quarterback it was incumbent upon the quarterback to pull the team together so they can have some resemblance of a strong season, and that quarterback did that. So you want to shit on Derek Carr? I mean, he's not an elite quarterback. I grant you that, but he's a high level quarterback in the NFL. You disagree?
I'm a high level quarterback in the NFL, but I mean, we'll see what he's not Aaron Rodgers, and you need diva receivers. Number one receivers need that quarterback to help them flourish. Without it, it's just you can't just trade a number one receiver to just any team and expect results.
So by him going to the Raiders, what kind of results do you expect the Raiders to get out of the Devontae?
It will not be Green Bay Packers production. I hope they don't not expecting that.
Well, I mean, he never. I mean, Green Bay Packers production. He had 1 year over 1,500 yards, if I remember correctly. So what is that?
Yeah, so I hope that's not the benchmark that you're looking for. Bring it down to like 1,000. Nine, 85 to 95 catches, somewhere in there.
Again, how many yards? How many years has he played in the league? Adams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 years in the league. How many years over 1,000 yards does Devontae Adams have?
4.
He has 3. He has a couple of seasons where he's close. 997 twice.
Okay, so he's got 5 then. Okay.
No, he has 3.
I'm sorry. Give or take the 3 yards. Give or take the 10 feet. Okay.
Yeah. Give or take.
I'm gonna round up, if you don't mind, Cam, to 1,000 on those two.
You're gonna round up, so that takes his number to half the seasons. He's got
1,000 yards.
1,000 yards.
In 3 of those seasons, he had more than 1,200 yards.
3 of those seasons, he had more than 1,200 yards.
Okay.
3 of those seasons, he had more than 1,375 yards. If you want to be specific.
Well, then there you go, Cam.
You don't think he can get this production with
No.
With 1,500 yards? He's not going to get 1,500 yards with
1,000 yards.
That's his limit. So what do you have? 1,000 to 1,050?
I got the over under at what, 1,100. I'm taking the under.
1,100. You're taking the under. Yeah, it's going to be right at 11. But 1,100 is higher than 1,000. So take 1,000 and give me the under. Give me the over and I'll take it at 1,100.
We talk about it.
You ain't ready. You ain't ready for that. You ain't ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I mean, he has some solid numbers. That number should be right at 1,100 though. It really should be right at 1,100.
Should be.
And so we'll see what Devontae Adams is able to pull out of there with these guys. NFL stories, man. Khalil Mack going to the Chargers. He says he wants to dominate. He just want to be destructive at any way possible. What's your thoughts about that move?
I hope it works out for him. I hope the Chargers get to the playoffs this year.
No objectivity at all, fans. I hope you guys recognize this. There's zero objectivity, zero coming from that guy over there. Zero. I hope you guys recognize that, fans. Cleveland, let's take a hot break, man. A quick 60. And we come back, we're going to talk about the NBA topics, man. The NBA, we got some playoff action that's hot in the NBA. We want to know, will your Lakers? So I said coming out of the All-Star break, they're not going to win more than 3 games. They won 4 games, Cleveland.
I know.
Proud of the Lakers for winning an extra game coming out of the All-Star break. Will they win another game from this in the next 10 games? Will the Lakers win any of the next 10 games to complete the season? Cleveland, I want you to answer that when we come back. Let's take a hot break, man. When we come back, we're going to talk about the NBA and get into the topics of the NBA this week. So let's take a little break here, Cleveland.
Be right back.
What's good, fans? Fans, go in the chat right here. Let me know who your favorite team is. Just want to know who we're talking to. Let me know who your favorite team is. Well, while we wait for Cleveland to make it back from this little potty break, go in the chat. Let me know who your favorite team is. Simple as that. Let me know you're participating. So those of you who are participating on the show, go in the chat. Let me know who your favorite team is. Raiders fan, Chargers fan, Broncos fan, Giants fan, Jets fan. Who are you a fan of? Let me know. Go in the chat. Come on, fans. Speak up. It's your time to speak up. Be a part of the show. Let us know who you're a fan of. You ready?
Ready to go, my friend.
So we in the NBA. We got a lot of questions in the NBA. A lot of things going on in the NBA. Cleveland. Let's take our first gander. We haven't done this in a while. NBA MVP. Who's leading this charge right now?
Ja is life.
Oh,
He has got the Memphis Grizzlies as the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. Something unheard of. Something very much not anticipated going into the season. Man, what he's been able to do has been crazy. It's been amazing.
When without Ja this season, the Memphis Grizzlies, I think, are 13-2. That say anything about his whether they need him or not?
No, what's the record with him?
Again, without him, they're 13-2. So
I mean, it sounds like you were trying to like extrapolate that, like that 13-2 would just carry over the entire season. And I don't think so. Yeah, not with the MVP of the league.
I doubt he's an MVP, Cleveland. But that's
and we look at that schedule of the teams that they beat. I mean, we didn't dig into that. So beat Orlando a couple times, Houston a couple times. Is that what happened?
Orlando a couple times. And you want to give him the MVP because he beat Orlando and Houston?
No. I'm saying the Memphis Grizzlies without him, they beat Orlando a couple of times, Houston a couple of times.
Oh, this guy.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying actually they won some games.
Yeah, over Orlando and Houston and teams of that nature.
Maybe
Pacers a couple of times, or I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, you just
I don't have the record all up in front of me the way that you were like throwing it out there. So, at any rate, yeah, Ja is life is the MVP of the league.
He is not the MVP of the league, Cleveland. You got to quit it. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Actually, have you not heard of Joel Embiid? Have you not
heard the last 5, 6, 7 games?
No, Joel Embiid is playing tonight. In fact, giving your Lakers just make an outlet pass to Maxey, who gave a dunk to Tobias Harris. So
okay. So actually, his first game back in a couple of weeks. Okay, that's cool.
Actually, he's been playing. I don't think he's sat down. Actually, I don't think he's sat down.
Oh, he said that last game. Yeah, him and Harden sat. So,
well, no, Harden's out there tonight too.
Okay, well, great.
What looks peculiar is there's no. You said number 23 in the purple and gold was the best player ever.
I said who.
That's what you said.
See, it's different words in a row. Who comes to mind first and who wore the best was the question. And right now, this season, he actually doesn't even wear the number 23, Cam. So get off that.
Oh, so you realize that you were wrong with that statement?
No, I still stand by the statement, but just this season, he doesn't wear the number 23. He wears number 6.
That was an inaccurate statement. So that was an inaccurate statement, is what you're saying.
Talking about King LeBron.
Yeah. Your boy LeBron James.
Who comes to mind first? LeBron wearing the 23 for sure.
Blasphemy.
Who wore the best?
Michael Jordan.
LeBron James.
Without question. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how you're having this conversation with somebody. Cleveland, James, we touched on it last week. James Harden and Joel Embiid late game situations. Any more concern? Any more concerned about these late game situations with these guys, or it's all good? All good. Everything will be a okay in
All
a couple
good.
playoffs.
Everything will be a okay.
Wow. Um, the Bucks keep rolling, man. Or you could, or the Bucks keep rolling. Do you want to change your pick? Because as often as you like to change pick, you want to put the Bucks number one in the East?
Nope.
No. What do you think about what Trey Young did to the Knicks? Put up the cool 40 piece on them.
I love the way he comes in there and just disrespects them, man, because they can't do nothing about it, man. And he's just committed to it. He's committed to being the villain, the bad guy. I love it.
And they keep getting it done. They keep getting it done. But the Bulls cannot beat a good team for the playoffs to make sense of it. How weird is that? They can beat up all the medium to mediocre teams, but they can't beat a solid team this season. Do you expect that to change?
No, it's not weird at all because that's exactly who they are. I mean, they feast on the unfortunate, and that's where DeMar DeRozan's game is the most effective, and the other pieces, Zach Levine, he needs to be in a different environment. That's not quite where he needs to be.
Really,
Lonzo,
you don't like the Zach Levine, LeBronzo Ball
no,
um, combo? What? Where should Zach be?
have never liked it.
Do you not like Zach Levine? Like,
Love Zach Levine. Did you see him in the Olympics when he plays with people that can actually do some things?
where
And he
should he
doesn't have to
be?
do everything. He's magnificent, man.
Where should he be?
Haven't quite figured out the exact perfect landing spot for him just yet, but it's not Chicago.
But he was there. Didn't they bring him there? Bring Vucevic there, then bring
Yeah, no,
Ball there,
they
then
traded
bring.
for Jimmy in Minnesota. That's fine, but I'm just saying that's not. Zach needs to be a little bit more like not the focal point of everything. When he's not, he's quite talented.
So he doesn't need it. He doesn't need the attention that they're trying to give him. Or he doesn't
He
need.
needs to be a two or he's really good if he's your three. He's exceptional if he's your third best option.
Cleveland. We had Sadiq Bey put up 50 points on Saturday. I think it was Sunday or Saturday. What do you think about all these high scoring games? All these guys putting up 50 points, and these guys who putting up 50 points are talking about. I'm not talking about the greatest shooters of all time either. I'm not talking about Alex Angeles, going for 50. I'm not talking about Kyrie. Obviously, we know what he can do. He put up 60. I'm not talking about those type of players. Sadiq Bey put up 50 points. What's your thoughts on that?
It's a testament to how the NBA is, right? Not a lot of contact and a lot of free flowing basketball. And if someone's on a roll, then hey, let them do their thing.
Yeah, no D. I think it's a sign of a lack of defense. But you that's what they want, right? That's what they've been wanting. They've been wanting their
Well, I
free
mean, even
flowing.
though we're playing like they're not going to play like NCAA like lockdown defense. That's not what they
No,
do.
I'm not asking for that type of lockdown defense. I just said they're playing no defense. When guys are Sadiq Bey is going for 50 points. Come on, we didn't defend that guy that night. Come on, this isn't
You
Kevin.
probably defend him to the best of your
This
ability
isn't
within the
Kevin
rules
Durant
of the
going for
game.
50. This isn't Kevin Durant going for 50. Where you could say, man, I don't know if you remember. If you remember this would be funny, but I don't know that you remember this because you want to bring up the Clippers all the time. But after Durant put up 50, Patrick Beverly and um, Lou Williams, the question was asked, well, what did you guys do? How did you guys change your coming out of halftime? How did you change your game plan to try to stop him? And a reporter asked him a question, something very similar to that. And they looked at it and they laughed, like, what do we do? Like we on the court every day trying to stop. Oh, we work on trying to stop this guy. But when a guy has it going on, like KD has it going on, he's gonna put up 50 on you. And it was just so funny. Do you remember that? Lou Will and Patrick Beverly. But the question
I
was,
don't remember that one. The one that I remember, and I never quite understood what Doc was doing because he was also with the Clippers. When Terrence Ross put 50 on them, and he was adamant, like I told them dudes from the locker room, if you don't guard that dude, he was like just his most sternest face. Like I told him like over and over again to guard that dude. Like he's capable of 50. And when he did it, I wasn't surprised. I was like, you gotta be surprised when Terrence Ross
which puts
hits
up
you up
50.
for 50. Like, wow. That's a big number. So I feel what you're saying, man, but I don't think it's necessarily a testament to just no one playing defense. I think it's just the rules and the flow of the game, and we're getting late into the season, and players start to mail it in, my dude. There's only 10 games left, man. And if you're not really in the playoffs, you're not really in the thick of things, and you don't really matter that much. You are looking at on speed dial with your travel agent quite often.
I'll speed
I'm
down with
just
the
saying.
agent. So you brought up a couple interesting points there. With it being late in the season, you saying guys are starting to talk a little bit more to the travel agent, trying to get something done solid on the books. Does this playing tournament make a difference? You're a Laker fan. Your Lakers are in the number 10 spot. Do you get any encouragement or adrenaline knowing that the Lakers can make the playoffs if they win 2 games in the playing tournament? Did that excite you at all?
Makes a huge difference because as it stands, if there wasn't that, then they wouldn't even be in it. That was the whole point of adding it, to add that extra element of excitement and suspense.
Okay, so you're good with it. So
Good
they
with it.
you so they're doing just what they expected to do, basically.
Yes,
Okay, all right. So good job. Another good job to Adam Silver is what you're saying.
absolutely. Brings that extra element of like suspense, entertainment, and teams that were previously not going to be in the loop or in the loop.
Is some of that is some of that what was it Butler and Eric Spoelstra getting into it? No, what the hell? Um, wow. It looked like they had the what you call it getting into it a little bit. Um, Butler and Eric Spoelstra. Sorry fans, but I got distracted there. So have to see what's up with that tip there. So Cleveland, obviously we got the NBA playoffs coming around, and without we're gonna take a quick little look at the standings in the Eastern Conference standings. Cleveland, Miami, the Heat. The Heat is number one. They're winning the East. They're 1 game ahead of Milwaukee, who's 1 game ahead of Boston, who's one game who's 1 game ahead of Philly. So the top 4 spots, that win loss record, they're uh 0.5 games to 2 point game to zero point 0.5 games to 2 games difference there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're all bunched up very closely, and these next 10 games are going to be extremely uh, important to playoff seeding.
And the
Sure.
number 5 team is Chicago. Number 6 team is the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers is on the swoon. The Toronto Raptors are next. The Brooklyn Nets, the Charlotte Hornets, and Atlanta Hawks. Your Atlanta Hawks are solidly in the 10th spot. What's been up with the Atlanta Hawks this season? That's your guy. What's been up with the Hawks?
Teams have figured them out. They're not sneaking up on people, just letting ice trade just bomb like no, do something different. We'll take him out of the equation. And what else can you do? And the answer's been like question mark, question mark. So
Oh wow.
they just need more talent over there. That's all that's going on.
Okay, so Atlanta's at that number 10 spot, man. They have a chance. They are one game ahead of Charlotte, who's one game behind Brooklyn. So that number 8 Brooklyn is 9 games behind. That number 9 team is Charlotte. They're 10 games behind. Number 11 or number 10 is Atlanta. They're 11 games behind. They're those three are solidly in that position because unless Brooklyn goes on a 4 or 5 game winning streak, they're not going to catch Toronto, who's ahead of them in this at number 7. And the New York Knicks are 16 games back, 5 games behind the Hawks at number 10. So essentially, these are kind of settled, right? All is done, but the paint drying because they're all a few games different there. So you'll have Toronto. So you have the 7 plays the 10, right? And then the 8 plays 9. Who do you have coming out of that bunch? Is that going to be Toronto and Brooklyn, the 7 and 8 seed? Who do you have coming out of that bunch there?
Man, Brooklyn's coming out, man. Why are we talking about all this?
I mean,
Weird.
because earlier in the season you had your boy Lamelo Ball. You had him not only winning the
Melo
MVP,
Ball's on
but
my do. I'm not. Take that back. I've never said that. No.
Lamelo Ball. You never talked up Lamelo Ball.
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness. Um, I think you had those guys in the playoffs. They don't play their way out to the playing tournament.
So that means they're in the playoffs. Then.
I mean, come on, but it's yet to be determined if you want to put it like that.
Well, I mean, they're going to make the top 10, so they will be playing after the season ends, right?
Oh wow. Justin Coleman signs with the Seahawks. You remember Justin Coleman?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
corner. Yeah, you're thrilled about that. I can tell. Thrilled.
Thrilled.
All right, so out of the playing tournament, we have Brooklyn Nets and Toronto. Because 2 teams are going to make it out of the playing tournament, right? Over Atlanta and Charlotte, you got Brooklyn Nets and Toronto making the playing tournament, making the playoffs out of the Eastern Playoff Tournament. And in the Western Conference, we have the Phoenix Suns leading the league in wins. Actually, yeah, leading the league. Already claimed the position, claimed their playoff berth. We got the Memphis Grizzlies. We got the Golden State Warriors. We got Utah Jazz and Denver Nuggets. They're jostling. They're jockeying for position here at the 4 and 5 position. The Denver Nuggets are 16 games back at six seed in the West. 16 games back, six seed in the West. Minnesota Vikings have 17.5 losses. There's, 17.5 games behind back. Excuse me, fans. I said it wrong. The Minnesota Timberwolves are 17.5 games behind the number 1 Phoenix Suns, and they're only a game and a half behind the Nuggets for that 6th seed. The Los Angeles Clippers are 23.5 games behind the Phoenix Suns at 36 and 38 for a 48% winning margin. And they also are 21 and 26 in their division, or in their conference rather, I should say. The last 10 games they were 3 and 7, so they got a lost 4 in a row, so they got some work to do. Your Los Angeles Lakers are 27.5 games, 4 games back behind the Clippers for the number 9 seed. 31-41 is their record. Their record 4 and 6 of their last 10. 4 and 6 out of their last 10. The New Orleans Pelicans are the number 10 seed. They are 28 28.5 games behind the 28.5 games back, 1 game behind the Los Angeles Lakers. So that's your 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th seed. So you get a matchup of the Timberwolves versus the Pelicans, which, I mean, for playoff interest, can be pretty, can gain some interest, right? Can garner some interest. And then for the home of the crypto.com arena, the Clippers will play the Lakers for the 8 and 9 seed playing tournament. How cool would that be?
Great.
The Lakers and the Clippers have never played
It would
each
be
other
great.
in playoff action. You know that?
No, I wasn't aware, but it would be great.
Do you have something special
No,
for that?
no disrespect to Mr. Balmer.
Of course
he
not.
doesn't see this and doesn't take it the wrong way or get offended. But yeah, that'd be great.
You think you guys got a shot there if that would happen?
Depends on if Anthony Davis is healthy or not.
Right now, so Anthony Davis not healthy because he's not playing today. So right now, as the Rock roster stand today, Anthony Davis would not play. What is your confidence level of the Raiders beating the Heat, or excuse me, beating the
Lakers beating the Clippers? It's not high.
Your confidence in the Lakers beating the Clippers is not high. Interesting. Okay, I like that modesty right there. So that's pretty interesting, Cleveland. So we talked about a lot of things in NBA, man. We talked about. Can you point out a coach of the year? Should that be Monty Williams, coach of the year? Should that be Ty Lue, coach of the year? Should that be the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, coach of the year? Or should that be Taylor Jenkins out of Memphis? Who do you think?
Taylor Jenkins out of Memphis has been coaching his butt off. And the fact that he's been able to turn that team around from where they were last season to where they are this season, phenomenal.
What about so yeah, he's done a great job coaching those guys. But what about your head coach Frank Vogel? What does he deserve? Some
No consideration whatsoever. Hopefully, he's gotten with a good realtor that can get him a top value for his.
You already set them up. You already set them up with realtors.
Yes.
Does he, wait. So let me ask you a question, man. You know the mayor used to have to evacuate the house once he lost. Once he was no longer the mayor, he had 30 days to get out of the house. So, are you guys giving Frank 30 days to get out of the house, or what's the deal? Did Frank has to turn his keys early? What's the deal?
Probably more like 60. Probably more like 60. 30 is going to be the real due diligence after the season's over. And probably by 60, yeah, it'll be time to go.
But you just tell him at the end of the season, Frank, you can pack it up. I mean, you're going to have to get out soon.
I'm saying, hey, man, we're month to month here. And, after the end of, August, may not be you.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Wow. Those are some tough conversations that you have.
This is a franchise that's fired Phil Jackson. This is a franchise that's fired Pat Riley. Frank Vogel is not.
Not either one of those guys. If Frank doesn't cause the owner to sweat a little bit walking into the meeting, there's no concern.
It's 15 championships I just threw at you, right?
There's no concern with what Frank's response is going to be when they say Frank thanks but no thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't asking.
Oh, wow.
Just trying to give you a heads up. I wasn't really asking the question.
Oh, wow. I tell you what, you guys are so cold, man. You guys are so cold. So because the organization is having a bad year, Frank gets the brunt of it and he gets his head rolled. And you look pretty gleeful when you say that.
Not really. I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, he was doing a great job beforehand, but I mean, he's not a great X's and O's guys, right? I mean, if everything's spinning cool, great. But if it's not, that's not the guy you want calling the plays, man.
You might want to get somebody else in here to call the defense. Tobias is just dunking on you guys. Like Tobias might have 12 points already in the. Well, shit, it's the third quarter. He might have more than that. Put it up for me. Put it for me, ESPN. How many points Tobias got? Oh man, you're a tough crowd, man. You Laker fans are a tough crowd. You guys are tough. I'll tell you that. So well, that's for this week, man. We're gonna have to see what happens next week in the NBA because as the NBA seasons wind down, these games get more and more critical. Um, considering what's going on. Are you a fan of the play-in tournament, Cleveland? And or do you think they should establish the 8 teams 1 through 8 and then reseed those teams once they get in the playoffs?
I'm not a big fan of the reseeding, and I am a big fan of the the play-in tournament. I mean, those extra 2 teams, some drama can happen, with regards to like seeding all of the teams from like 1 to 16 per their record. No, man, Eastern Conference, Western Conference, man. I like it that way.
I like the Eastern Conference, Western Conference, but I kind of don't think the reseeding is what that does is takes away the advantage, like the Memphis Grizzlies go on a run and they finish number 2 in the Western Conference. When you reseed, that takes away that good season, that advantage that they have developed, right?
So when you reseed, wouldn't they, so to speak, or will they be the 4 seed with the reseed?
Well, it depends on, I mean, who has a better record than them. So they would be, if they go from 2, maybe they go to 4 with the reseeding. And so they don't have the number 2 best.
Yes, but no, I'm not a fan of that direction. I prefer the conference seeding.
The as is or conference reseeding.
As is. Yeah, I like it.
And not reseeding every round. So if you beat the 1, nobody steps into the 1 spot.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, I mean that's some questions that's been bounded around with the playoffs right around from us. It's a worthy conversation. Should the NFL reseed? That's not NFL. Excuse me. Should the NBA reseed when they hit the playoffs? That's an interesting thought right there. So Cleveland, let's take a break, man. Are you good, or you want to roll right through the rest of the show?
Let's roll right through it, man.
Let's roll right through it then, big guy. As we're going to jump right into our This Week in History, Cleveland, we do have, we're going to acknowledge that Puerto Rico abolished slavery back in 1873. Puerto Rico abolished slavery way back in 1873. That was pretty wow. And March 26, 1872, Thomas J. Martin was awarded the patent for the fire extinguisher. Now, Cleveland, have you ever used a fire extinguisher?
Not for its actual intent.
Not for its intended purpose.
No, not to put out a fire, I guess I should say.
Okay, but did you know when you were squeezing the trigger that a fire extinguisher was designed by a black person?
I did not.
I did not know that myself. March 26, 1937, William Hastie, first federal judge, was appointed. William Hastie was the first black federal judge appointed in March 1937. March 23, 1995, Jaromir Jagr became the first European player to lead the NHL in scoring. Now, you would think that's kind of weird, right? Initially, wouldn't you?
95.
Jaromir Jagr became the first European player to lead the NHL in scoring. Now, right off the bat, you didn't think, well, Gretzky's not American. That never crossed your mind?
So say it again. What you just said.
Yarmir Yager, Pittsburgh of the Pittsburgh Penguins, became the first European player to lead.
European. Well, there you go. Well, Canada's not in Europe. Man, what are you talking about? Canada's North America.
Okay, but how many people think Europe when they think of Wayne Gretzky, or do they
No
just
one. No one thinks of Europe when they think of Wayne Gretzky.
no one think? Okay,
What are you talking about? Is that a real question?
come on. I mean,
It is 90 minutes from Seattle. Are you kidding me?
dude,
Played in Canada.
would you have thought Yarmir Yager was a leading European goal scorer?
Now that you mention it, now that you're putting some more context behind it, yeah, he was the only goal scorer to come from Europe. Yeah.
I thought that was kind of. I thought it was kind of. Well, I thought that was kind of wild. March 23rd, 1991, Cleveland. You might even been here actually. Evil Knievel broke 93 bones after successfully jumping 35 cars. Were you a fan of Evil Knievel?
A big fan of Evil Knievel, man. Had a little thing where you wind it and then Evil goes. Yeah, I had one of those.
I mean, I was a fan of his. I mean, I everybody went over a jump. You thought Evil Knievel.
I was even a fan when Robbie Knievel jumped over the fountains at Caesars. That was crazy, man.
Yes, that was
and then stopped before on a dime almost before oh my god.
Yeah.
How did you time that like that?
Yeah, that was wild.
But I watched Evil used to be on Wild World of Sports jumping over the Grand Canyon and stuff. Yeah. You wasn't the Evil Knievel fan?
I watched it, but when he hit the ground, I didn't understand celebrating the guy who crashed. That's what I didn't understand. So showing him,
well, sometimes, man, he crashed really, really hard, man.
Yeah, and they celebrating the guy who crashed and he broke all of these bones. I'm that's not cool. That's not like he fucked up versus he done something special, right? To me,
man, he tried to jump over 93 cars. Man.
I know he was. I know what he was trying to do.
And actually did it and just didn't land it yet.
He was a pretty ambitious. So kudos to Evil Knievel, kind of set the stage for a lot of daredevils out there in the world. So kudos to Evil Knievel for kind of putting in the work there. Cleveland, who are the best players? Let me ask this question one or two ways. I want to know who are the best players remaining in NFL free agency. However, you can answer that who are the best players remaining in NFL free agency, or you can tell me who are the players that you would like to see your Seattle Seahawks sign.
Can't say either way, Cam. The free agency has been so crazy. It's just,
Cleveland. Did they close the Lumen Field for 2022?
No, Sylvan.
Huh?
No, Sylvan.
I mean, did the Seahawks not invite fans to Renton to watch the training camp? Well, I guess OTAs is not. Can't do OTAs.
Still invited.
I mean, you just seem so kind of down and out of it, man. I haven't seen this in all the years we've done this podcast. I haven't seen this level of angst and heartache from you, man.
Uncertainty. Yeah. I have no level of expectation, and we haven't had a draft, and we haven't signed a single free agent. So yeah, no.
I mean, Drew Lock doesn't get you excited at all. I mean, did Drew Lock once Russell was traded and you guys recognized that you got Drew Lock back, and then he talked to the media. I'm sure he talked to the media. I'm sure he talked to the people of Seattle. When he talked to the people of Seattle, did that make you rush out and go get your jersey dry cleans? Make you go get your 12 sweatshirt dry cleaned and ready to go for a new season? Did you go get your jacket washed, freshened up for the new? No, none of that for the Seahawks. Get your gear freshened up. Wow, man, I feel bad for you guys, man. I feel bad for you Seahawks fans. Look, my man Cleveland is just is
And I feel
he's
hopeful for
more
you guys
speechless.
down there in Los Angeles. I
What were you
hope
talking
you
about?
guys make
The
the
Miami
playoffs,
Dolphins
man.
and Teddy Bridgewater. Hope
Oh,
Teddy Bridgewater. What is it? You root for
what's
Teddy?
that? What's that old OJ song? Cam you used to listen to? Your parents used to listen to? She used to be my girl. Because you and Herbert and them guys now. Why you keep coming to the house, peeping through
Why keep driving down the street? Why keep driving down the block? now I can't even drive down the block now.
Yeah, man. What are you doing, man? No, man.
Woo! All right, man. I hate that you feel this way, man. I hate that. I really do hate that you feel this way.
I hate that you're coming off this way, man. I mean, you gotta admit what you done did, and it's just part of it.
What are you
That's
talking
part of
about?
it.
I called the fans, Cleveland. You could try to play this game for
Okay,
anybody.
well, they call Coach Stanley and say, "Hey, man, you know what? I like you guys, but man, really, the Dolphins been my team for 40 years, man. And that's just what I'm doing. I'm just doing this, just man, just to just make ends meet and stuff, man. You just gotta keep my name out there, man. Tell them that. Tell me you're not really truly committed to the culture that he's developed over there, and that you don't really necessarily believe they're better than the Dolphins. And say that to his face.
Oh, to his face. Tell him that
To his face, or any email if you want to. I mean, or send him a text.
Oh, you're funny. You're funny. Cleveland, what's your thoughts on the NCAA tournament? Are you enjoying the tournament? How's your betting going? What is your bracket? What's your bracket look like?
Bracket is average. The betting really starts tomorrow. Had I been really hardcore about it the last 2 rounds, I probably would have lost my shirt. So I'm glad that I kind of let things kind of play themselves out, and this Sweet 16 should be fairly good.
Anything that you looking at particularly for the Sweet 16?
I hope I'm wrong, but I think this is Duke's last game tomorrow.
Oh, you got it all ended tomorrow for Coach K, huh?
I do.
Interesting. So tomorrow, what else we got? What else we got tomorrow? I'm trying to see.
I got Gonzaga doing their thing. I got Villanova doing their thing over Michigan. And I got Houston pulling the upset over Arizona.
And Texas Tech over Duke.
Yeah.
Houston over Arizona. Wow.
Yeah.
That's you. How much you putting on that?
I'm going to tease it down to where I feel comfortable. But yeah, I'm putting some pretty big cheese on that. They're on the money line parlay as well.
Okay. All right. Well, those should be some pretty good games. Now these games are really good as we wind down.
And fans, it's just for complete transparency. It's Houston +2, so I'm getting 2 points in that game. I'll tease it down to the 8 points on a 4-team parlay teaser, and I feel confident with that. But I also have them on my money line parlay, which means if they win, then I come out pretty favorable. So.
How'd you do last week on your the best that you had in?
So, like I said last week, I was really wanting to get out there, but I never had an opportunity. Fans, I'm in the state of Washington, Seattle, Washington, Renton suburb. We can only gamble at tribal casinos, and they're kind of far apart. So, I didn't have a chance to get down there and get my bets in. But fortunately, I didn't have a chance to get down there and get my bets in. Got my my clock cleaned, right?
Coco would have been hungry this week, huh?
Yeah, it would have been like okay. A few things came through, but not enough. I would have been like, wow, yeah, in bleach water. So next this next or tomorrow, I should say, I feel much more confident with what's going on.
All right. Well, again, this is week 2 of the 3-week major NCAA tournament. So another week to get a lot of NCAA basketball in before the NBA playoffs really get kicked up and ramped up. Cleveland, Major League Baseball camps. Major League Baseball camps are now open. I am down here in Arizona. I came down here specifically to go to a Dodgers spring training game. Went earlier today. They won their game over the Cleveland Guardians. Going back tomorrow. Was trying to get in contact with somebody from the Mariners, but again, my first time down here, my expectation or I thought everybody was like walking distance. All the different multiple teams were, but at this particular ballpark where I'm near, there's only one team, the Dodgers, playing, and they'll be playing tomorrow. So I'll be back. I'll be back there tomorrow just to kind of get a lay of the land. But what are your thoughts when pitchers and catchers return to camp? What are your thoughts about the Mariners, what they're doing? I want you to get out there and see what you're talking about, all these young guys who are going to prospects who are going to be so valuable. I mean, what's your thoughts, man? Cleveland, talk to me. Talk to us.
The only question that I have, Cam, is I think they have a few too many outfielders, and I don't think that there's a way to really come to resolution with that without doing some really drastic things. Other than that, I feel really good about their team, and I feel really good about the wager that I've already made to Daniels Mills that they'll make the playoffs this year.
I mean, did they make the playoffs last year? Didn't you have some?
Nope, they were one game short last year.
Weren't you so confident in them making the playoffs last year?
I was.
Did that cost you anything, or you were just flapping your jaws?
Well, that was just kind of in between, but this is real serious. I've doubled down on it this year, so.
Fans, I'll keep you well aware of what the Seattle Mariners progress is this summer. So please don't mind me. I will let you guys.
because you're in, right? You're committed to the fact that they're not going to make the playoffs, right?
Cleveland, have they made the playoffs in 20 years?
For the two Daniels Mills.
Right? Have they made the playoffs in 20 years?
Nope.
No. Why would they? Why would
anybody
think they're going to make the playoffs?
So then, why would you worry about it? Okay,
well, I'm not worried about it in the least.
So we're still good about the two Daniels Mills then.
Bacon wrapped shrimp as an appetizer. Bacon wrapped shrimp. What is it? The little steak bites. I forget what they call.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh, we can get into the the little shrimp bites as well if you want to. Throw whatever you want on there.
This ain't my tab. This ain't my tab, buddy. Since
it's not,
bring them up.
Bring them up. Get crazy with it, Cam. Since it's not, get crazy with it. Throw everything on there.
Ring them up, baby.
Bring it up.
Shit, that's what I'm gonna tell them.
Yeah.
Shit.
Get the popcorn shrimp, little steak bites, little crab, Dutchess crab, little niblets. Yeah, all of it.
Let's do it. Do it.
Time.
Aside from these no name farm team guys that the Mariners are calling up, is there anybody excited the Mariners or anybody the Mariners have that fans should be excited to see?
Julio Rodriguez, when you see him.
Never heard of the guy.
Okay. Then I just gave you a little bit of tidbit of information since you don't really follow baseball that closely.
You see now
say it again.
Now he's throwing jabs at me. I've been more baseball games this past season than Cleveland has.
Well, sure. So, but I'm just saying you don't know who Julio Rodriguez is, but that's what I'm saying.
He played for the Seattle down.
You asked me a question. Ken, did you ask me a question?
I did.
Okay, so if you would have asked me this question in 1990, I would have said Ken Griffey Jr. If you would have asked me this question in the 90s, I would have said Alex Rodriguez. You would have asked me this question in 2001, I would have said Ichiro Suzuki. You're asking me this question in 2022, Julio Rodriguez.
Cleveland, you just brought You just brought up Ichiro Suzuki. You brought up King Griffey Jr. What the hell are you talking about?
You asked me who the next Mariner sensation is going to be, and I said Julio Rodriguez. You can either hear me or not hear me.
This guy used to play. Who did he used to play for?
He's never played for anybody. He's 20 years old. He's a prospect, the number 3 prospect in baseball.
No. All right. Well, they have this fantasy top 100 prospect rankings for. Let me see where they got Julio. Fantasy baseball top 100 prospect ranking for 2022. Julio Rodriguez and Bob Witt. Let me see where they have Julio. Uh-oh. They got Julio number 1.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I digress. It's been spring already. Guess he's the number 1 prospect in baseball.
They got Julio number 1. He spent 2/3 of his 2021 AA season and hit 362 there, bringing the hype that he's been building around him since age 17 to a fitting crescendo.
Oh, look at Cam doing some research here
Once a generation
about what I speak on the show. Wow, it's cool you're getting up to speed as well. That's cool.
All right, so you taking him in fantasy baseball?
I don't play fantasy baseball.
Why not?
Way too many games that I don't know nothing about. No.
Aren't you the young Sam, all knowing all sports?
Hey, baseball is not one of those things I wager on, my friend. I know my rivers and waterfalls, man. Yeah.
Oh, listen to this guy. Cleveland, man, thank you for participating in the show this week, man. I want to leave you guys with this quote, Cleveland. You can just sit there and wait for people to give you that golden dream, or you got to get out there and make it happen for yourself. You can't just sit there and wait for people to give you that golden dream. You got to get out there and make it happen for yourself. That's from the famous Diana Ross saying you just can't do things on your own. You got to wait for people to do stuff for you. You got to get out there and make it happen on your own, Cleveland. And so when I'm taking your money after all these bets that you put on the table and they don't work out, I don't feel no harm or no guilt behind it, because
I feel the same way, Cam. I feel like you deserve it because then we talked about it and you keep running your mouth and hey, put your money where your mouth is, and okay, well, I have no remorse when I take your stuff, man.
When you take my stuff, here you go, Cleveland. The 2 Daniels dinners on the Mariners making the playoffs.
Yes.
You sure about that?
Back-to-back nights.
That's all I can do. I gotta be home in August for this one. I gotta be home at the end of I gotta be home for.
Yeah, you got to be home as soon as they clinch the playoffs, man. Real talk.
Clinch.
Yeah.
I don't think
they're going to make the playoffs like maybe 10, 15 games before the end of the season. They'll clinch the playoffs.
Should I add that to the ticker?
No.
Oh.
Not unless you want to add another Daniel's meal to it.
I mean, you said 10. You're saying not 10 to 15
come
games.
Come on, Cam. I don't know if you got the Citibank or the Chase credit card that you're applying for, but yeah, I'm not gonna get into all that until you got some type of collateral that shows that you're good for this.
Listen to this guy.
Because right now I feel like you're a little out of your means. I mean, I'm extending you because we're doing the show and stuff. But yeah.
Oh, is that it?
I don't feel real confident you're going to be able to pay up. I don't want to say,
listen to this
Big
guy.
Sean over to your house, but man, man.
Listen to this guy. you better hope some things shake right. That's what I got to tell you, buddy. You better hope.
I'll give you one last chance to save yourself, Cam, because I know you don't really know what you're speaking on, but I'll give you one last chance.
Hold on,
Man.
wait, remember this one?
Oh man, where's my Brazilian meal? Is it you cue that up?
What are you talking about? Right there. 5 sacks or less. Did you say that? Was that you? Huh? Oh, he not paying no attention to that.
Brazilian meal, man. Yeah, I think when we did the show with Eric, I had already clinched that. Hasn't happened.
What are you talking about? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh, I believe it was the Chargers not making the playoffs, as I recall.
The Chargers not making the playoffs was that you got lucky and got out of paying me some money. That's what that was.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you find that one, I mean,
look at that one right there. Boy,
yeah, I got that one.
Titans didn't beat the Bengals.
I know. Yeah, the Titans. Yeah, Derrick Henry in it. Why you fans? Thanks so much for your participation in watching our show as Cam gets reacquainted with some of these ticker items that he has kind of thrown himself under the bus with. We will just part our ways and just say, hey, man, let's let him get caught up with what he said, and kind of figure things out as we go forward. Maybe we even get some type of, spreadsheet that we can share with the fans with regards to kind of what Cam has said over the course of the entire year. So, yeah. All right, then, Cam.
Fans, thank you for tuning in. Cleveland, we're going to get with you next week.
Okay.
We're going to get with you next week, Cleveland. Man, hopefully, I'm hoping for your sake, man. The Seahawks go out and sign a linebacker. Go out and sign a lineman.
Don't worry about the Seahawks are doing.
Go sign a quarterback.
Worry about what the Los Angeles Chargers are going to be able to do this next season because you've invested so much time and resources into this whole thing.
Holla at you soon, big dog. Thank you for your time, fans. As always, we appreciate your time. Appreciate your feedback on the show, and each and every week, fans, we appreciate you for tuning in. And as always, we thank you for making our voice your choice. All right, Cleveland, man. Thanks. Have a good one, big guy.
Bro.
Later.